Well, hey everyone, welcome to these special episodes we're doing here on our stallions who are featured in our exhibition stallion auction. And then of course they're also nominated to the exhibition stallion program, and therefore their offspring are eligible for the exhibition reining stakes. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you today Gord Robinson. He's the owner of Big Rock Arena and of course Special Made Whiskey. We all know him as Whiskey. But Gord has had whiskey for quite a few years now, and it was in our program last year and is in the program again this year. So if you were thinking this year that, hey, that's someone who I might like to breed my mare to, well, don't be shy. Jump on the exhibition auction. You'll find it on exhibition.ca.club. There's a link to the auction there. And but we're going to find out more today. Maybe you don't win the auction with us. That doesn't mean that your prospect isn't eligible in the program. And we want to support Gord and whiskey. So we're just going to have a conversation today and try and learn a little bit more about this incredible stallion and some of the success that they've had in the program here. So, Gord, thank you for joining us here on the podcast. How's everything going?
Oh, fair to middling. No problems.
Well, that's good. Hey, you know what? I understand 2025 is already off to a good start for whiskey. Is that good? Is that true?
What do you mean?
Well, you've got some breedings booked.
Yeah,
that's
I already
what I'm
got
hearing.
a few.
Yeah.
Got about 8 so far, so we're off to a good start.
Hey.
It's one of the better starts.
Yeah. Well, that's great to hear. I mean, how many years have you been at it with whiskey now?
We have only been breeding him for 5 or 4 years, I think, because we waited long to start. We didn't want to interrupt his show career.
Yeah. So talk to me about sort of where whiskey came from, because I know he's been down south. And when did you buy him, and how did he end up here in Canada?
Well, we headed, I think it was 2015 to the Futurity. We took Voodoo to the Futurity, and I wanted to get a better prospect, a better horse to go back to the Futurity. So we went about 2-3 weeks earlier. And we went to several barns and checked out some horses and stuff. And then Dwayne said his brother Dean had a real nice one in the Futurity sale. And I said, well, I hadn't found anything in my price range. So we went, oh, okay, we'll check about when we get there. So we watched videos of him, and he looked really good. So we went to the sale. And lo and behold, we got him.
There you go. Price was right. You wouldn't want to buy him now with the Canadian dollar these days, eh?
I just checked out buying a 2-year-old down there for, I thought, well, it's pretty easy, $3,500 US.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 51 Canadian.
Woo!
Yeah, so nope.
Hey, good time to be creating your own prospect.
Yeah, and we went, nope.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe not now.
So you're out of Big Rock Arena. Tell me a little bit about that, because you're just south of Calgary there, and that's
yeah, we're in between Okotoks and Black Diamond, or Diamond Valley, they call it now, I suppose. And we have a few breedings there. We have a few mares, and we're in a boarding facility. We have about 16 boarders, give or take, at any time. And we also have a trainer, a cow horse trainer, working out of there, and he leases out the arena stalls.
Yeah.
So it's just an all around.
Yeah. Well, I planned on talking about it earlier, but, like this whiskey's not exclusive to reining, right? So have you had other prospects in other disciplines?
No, right now, whiskey has horses that are showing and winning now here in the reining. Of course, you've seen a couple of them.
Yeah.
We have a couple in the working cow. We have a couple healers. One went to Arizona as a breakaway horse, so that's also one of the reasons I wanted him. Is his bottom end has mother's daughter of Patty Shires whiskey, and that's one of the really main reasons I really liked him, is because I like that all round effect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I've certainly seen you in the cow horse pen, and
we tried the cow horse. He really likes it, but it's too much. There's too many shows. And if he was younger, I might have pursued it. Oh, somebody come to talk to me.
That's the breeding right there. It's live on air. We got a booking for you.
Sorry. But yeah, so because then he'd be gone every weekend, and I just didn't want it. But now I can say he's cow horse earnings, so
Yeah.
I guess it worked.
Well, it seems to me that, everything I'm hearing, that the roping, and whether that's the team roping or the breakaway roping, is just, it's blowing up.
Yeah, the breakaway, crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So, I mean, you went down, and it sounds like, you had some great help there with the Latimer brothers, obviously.
Well, actually, whiskey is all in the family.
Yep.
Because every Latimer had a hand on him.
No kidding.
Yeah. Because, as you know, we bought him. We brought him home. We brought him to bring home for Amanda Anifay to ride. And then, as you know, just in the last episode, she got in an accident.
Yeah.
So that was like 2 weeks after we got him home. Mm-hmm. So we're going, well, what are we going to do? It's like, then Dwayne phones. He goes, ship him back home. So he came all the way up here, sat for 2 weeks, and went all the way back to Texas. And Dwayne had him for his 3-year-old year.
Wow.
And then he was going to ride him in the futurity, but as you know, Amanda recovered like crazy quick.
Amazing.
So we had her ride Eli at the fall futurity to see how she felt. To chagrin of her mother, of course. But she felt good, so she went on down and rode him in the futurity.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's part of what, non-pros perspective mare owners want to see is a horse that, you feel comfortable. You're just recovered from a neck injury like that, and Amanda feels confident she'll jump right on.
We just had a little test at the fall classic, and she went, yeah, I'm good to go. So let's go.
That's incredible. Yeah. What were some of the things that right out of the gate that you're like, hey, I love these different aspects, whether it's the talent or just some of the personality that he showed? What are some of the things you love about Whiskey?
Now, he's a perfect gentleman. You wouldn't even know he's a stud. You go to the show, it's calamity. Everybody's moving in. He might holler a bit for like 20 minutes. Once he sits in the stall, he's done. You wouldn't even know he was there. He just sits and goes to sleep. So on the ground, he's fine. You never have to worry about watching your back on him. And even when you get on him, he's even more that way. Like there could be 5 mares sitting next to you when you're sitting on him, and he won't even look at him.
Yeah.
So that's what I like.
His job, stays calm.
He does his shit. Excuse me.
Yeah, you can say that.
And he goes back to the stall and goes to sleep.
Yeah. That's great. And obviously, it's not just the open riders, having them in the show pen. You've been showing them as well, having success.
Well, he was showed one year by 3 different riders.
Yeah.
He was shown in the rookie with Dusty, which she won all the time. He was shown by myself, which I won some of the time. And at that time, it was by Shailene.
Yeah, Malmberg.
I can't pronounce her name. Malmberg.
Yep.
She did really well on him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, I mean, I think a lot of people listen to this episode here in Canada, maybe not some of our listeners south of the border, but they were the inaugural Jack Carter Open $10,000 Open from Jack Carter. They laid it down. I can't remember. What was the score on that run? Because we had the 3 judges.
224.5, if I can remember.
Man, it was awesome. And Shayla was just the boss on that run.
And everybody's going, case in point, Dean was one of the judges, which I bought him off of. So we're going, oh no, what's going to happen?
Right.
Either he's going to crucify him or he's going to do too much. He wasn't the highest scorer, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we've been very fortunate. I mean, we've talked about on a lot of the episodes that we go after the top professional judges, and they know how to judge it right, and they know how to judge it fairly. And that run, I think there wasn't anyone who disagreed. Like that, Whiskey was the champion.
It was pretty well across the board to say.
Yeah. No, it's
actually was one of his best runs.
Yep.
Like this whole career.
His whole career. Yeah. Well, I mean, we know like that ground gives the horses a chance to show off their talents. And so, that's what he's capable of. And really, if you look at that run, it's all aspects, it's all of the skills. He excelled across all of them. Mm-hmm. Like there were no weaknesses there.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of nice ones.
Yeah. You know, and so, you know, we've talked about, we were just chatting with the Ableys about, you know, it's not easy to get earnings here in Canada. Our purses are smaller. It's Canadian dollars, which doesn't translate the same, but still, Whiskey's had some earnings start to rack up here.
Yeah, here, but most of his has been in the States.
Sure.
Because we had to take him down there. Sometimes you go, well, should I have left him down there and not brought him home? But no, I wanted him here. I wanted to ride him. Like, maybe I'm wrong. I got a horse. I want to ride him.
Yeah. Have you figured out sort of specific mares that you've seen, like, hey, that's a really great fit?
Yeah, we've been noticing that the electric snows and the Magnum Chip Dreams, they look really good.
They do. Yeah.
That's what we've been noticing. Pretty laid back and big. Like them.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So as far as prospects and stuff, I mean, we're building the Reining Stakes program. Have you got some prospects in the pipeline where they're going to have a good chance to take some of this purse that we're trying to create for you guys?
Actually, my 2-year-olds and I have 2-year-olds now. That I have 2 really nice 2-year-olds. One is actually going to Amanda at the end of the month, and the other one, I haven't made up my mind. I think I'm going to not put all my eggs in one basket and just have a couple different ones in different places. Just to split it up, just to see.
Sure.
So I haven't made up my mind with that one.
Yeah. That's exciting. And so if for those potential mare owners out there and they're interested in whiskey, what's going to be their best way to find out about breeding to them?
It's just he has a Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way. Just get a hold on Facebook.
Yeah, and I mean, you're very active on Facebook, and you respond quickly to messages.
Active.
Well, you know, like if I look at when we put something out, you seem to know about it right away. So it means you're on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. So are you the breeding manager then for whiskey, or?
Well, yeah, it's not really. I'm not. I guess I am. Like,
yeah, you fulfill that role.
Basically, once you read the contract, it is when your mare's ready, you phone the vet. The vet phones me.
Yeah,
I bring them over.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple.
Yeah, and is that out of Moores then?
Yeah, Moores. It'll be out of Moores this year.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, super close to where you are, and great. Yeah. So I don't know. Is there any quirky stories or characteristics, qualities that make him endearing? Because I mean, you want they become a best friend, right, to the people. So.
I said before, he is like a big puppy, and sometimes he acts like a puppy too. But just be firm with him, and he's never been out of sorts. I might say, he's always. You see him today, he's the same horse tomorrow. The next day, he likes to bite me in the butt every once in a while, but
he's a good-looking fellow, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, I guess that's probably everything that I needed to ask you about. Is there anything that I've missed? Anything that you want to add? We're getting to the last week of the auction. But as we said, like, just because you don't win the auction doesn't mean that doesn't continue. So
he's ready to go. I don't know how many I want to. Like, it's kind of hard up here to how many you want. We don't get a whole bunch because the numbers aren't there. Mm-hmm. I think if I get a dozen, that's dozen to 2 dozen.
Yep,
that's good.
Yeah. Been a successful
That's good for here.
Yeah.
That's good for Alberta.
No,
I
that's
think.
Great. Well, and I think as you start to talk about that crossover into the other disciplines, and certainly if
and that's the thing. That's his babies seem to be doing anything you want.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I got him, because I kind of, in the back of my mind, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, what I'd like to say before we sign off here is, Gord, especially at the exhibition, but not only at the exhibition, you've always been extremely generous in your support of the complete industry. So you've been a sponsor of ours ever since we began, and we really appreciate that support and everything that you do. But then I see your name in other places as well. So I think when people talk about you, like you talk about, throwing out the S word there. No, just kidding. But everybody knows you got a big heart, Gord, and they appreciate the support that you give to the industry.
Well, I've seen that he was up here and others. I thought, why can't we make Canada better? I know we don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
But this was well, you filled some of the lacking. It's just lacking, and we take a big hit on the exchange of even we win $100 here, and it only counts $75. Now, how is that fair?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's a lot of things that that have been challenging, and it's going to be interesting to see where the NRHA goes moving forward. They've got a lot of work to do. Obviously, the industry globally is extremely strong. South of the border, incredibly strong. The purses that are happening at those big shows south of the border now, incredible.
That is also, in a way, a hindrance, I think, to a stallion owner in Canada, or even in the States that only has maybe one stallion. Is not a big outfit. It's like people are asking, is it enrolled in this? Is it enrolled in that? And the cost to enroll is just crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I like to go to the ones that have an auction.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a whole giant pile of money out of my pocket, because frankly, I can afford it.
Yeah.
And most of the people in Canada can't.
Yeah. And I feel like NARS, they must be on year 6 or year 7 now, but they created that model, that different model where, I'm not saying by created it that they invented it, but they really did a great job of opening up the game to a lot bigger audience.
Yeah. It's good. And like I say, it's a good and it's bad. Like, take what you want out of it.
Yeah. I think what the reality is that, you can either do a little for a lot or a lot for a little. And so we've chosen to go with the model for a lot for a little. Yeah. And so doing something like this with the podcast where we try to talk to as many people as we can, I'll let them know, we're asking for a lot of people to support the program, and support the people who, have done so much for the industry. And if you do that, then I think we can all enjoy the sport of reining, get to see some great horses out there riding, showing. And
I don't see it getting smaller here, maybe staying level or the same. I see with the dollar down there, maybe as Canadian breeders and that, people are going to have to look to us. Like, seriously, like when I looked at that horse down there the other day, it's like, no. Yeah. It's just no.
Well, Pearl Abley, who manages for us our Stallion and our Stakes program, we were just having the conversation, I think it was yesterday, that perhaps the opportunity to start to build something here in Western Canada, because we started in reining, but we are interested in exploring and saying, like, okay, can we help out the cutting? Can we help out the cow horse? Is there a possibility to bring back the concept of the Supreme? And if all of that comes together as a need in the industry right now because of this weak dollar and everything else that's happening, it might be really good timing. So,
the Supreme was a giant loss. It was the show.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
But as we talked about, if people listen to the exhibition interview on the podcast with Jeff Robson, it was titled "Celebrating the Canadian Supreme." We just talked about all the facets of it, right? Because it's not just a show. That is definitely it's a show, but it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's a full year project, that thing, just for
it is
a week.
Yeah. No, you're right. So, well, hey, Gord, thank you for coming and joining us, chatting here today. Hopefully this builds some excitement online, and we wish you and Whiskey an incredible 2025. And before long, it's going to be April, and we'll see you out there in the show arena. You planning on riding in April there, Gordon?
Yeah.
All right. I've just put you on the...
See how he's doing. He's had, since the Fall Classic, he's had off. I just started riding him about a month ago, and probably the middle of February, I'm going to start riding him every day.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you again for all the support over the years. And so please jump online there, everyone. Check out that auction and check out Special Made Whiskey. You can also go to the exhibition website, because there's a link there. If you click on the Stallions, you're going to see Special Made Whiskey there, and we've built a beautiful website page for him there. You'll get all the information you need, and also the contact information. If you're not on social media, you'll find that for Gord as well. So thank you for watching, and thank you again, Gord, for joining us here today.